The Offa Robbery Massacre, where Bukola Saraki was implicated as the one who empowered these criminals by giving them guns and sponsoring them. Numerous people died as a result of this robbery. The family of those who died at this robbery have waited for months for justice to be done, not just to the criminals, but also to those who sponsored these criminals. They have waited and waited, but nothing has been done. And finally, these families have taken it upon themselves, to write a petition and to file another case in court that these sponsored should also be prosecuted. When these politicians, they are busy buying guns, busy buying weapons for thugs so that they can win election, they forget that this same thug can also use those guns that they've purchased for them, to go and rob innocent individuals. And I think that they should be made to pay. They should be made to pay. They should realize the negative impact, the negative effect of their actions, because at the end of the day, it's not only election that you won. A lot of families lost their relative, they lost their brother as a result of your action. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section below as well. Less than 4 months after Judge Alema Salma of Kwara State High Court sentenced 5 suspects of April 5, 2018 Offa robbery, which claimed no fewer than 33 lives to death. The families of the victims have filed a lawsuit asking the court to try former governors of Kwara State, Dr. Bukola Saraki and Abdulfatai Ahmed, whom the convicted suspects confessed have sponsored them with firearms, money, and operational vehicles during the investigations. The motion was filed on 18 November 2024 by the counsel of Mr. Abraham Olufemi Makinde, Mr. Lateef Taye Rahim, Mr. Adeshina Kwelemo Adesomi, and Ms. Monsurat Aramide Adebayo, who are the claimants. The defendants are the governor of Kwara State, the attorney general of Kwara State, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and former governor Abdulfatai Ahmed. However, the court has ordered that the originating processes and all other court processes in this suit be served on third and fourth defendants, respondents by substituted means, that is pasting same at their addresses, which are number 1, Abdul Kadir Street, GRA, Ilorin, Kwara State, and number 19B, Abdul Razak Road, GRA, Ilorin, Kwara State, respectively, or by delivering same to any adult person dwelling in aforesaid addresses. That the originating processes and other court processes in this suit be served on third and fourth defendants, respondents by publishing same in national newspapers, including the Vanguard and This Day newspapers, that the service shall be deemed as proper service in circumstances. The presiding judge, Honorable Justice Theo Oshuolale Ajayi, adjourned the hearing of a case to January 13, 2025, by which the respondent, Dr. Saraki, and former Governor Ahmed would have been served the court processes. I want to mention that should the court have waited for these families to file another separate case before they know that they should have prosecuted these people for sponsoring criminals and robbery that killed 33 people, even if it was one person or nobody even got killed, the mere fact that you sponsored a criminal, you gave them vehicles, operational vehicles, guns, and money. And what are you expecting? You gave criminals all of those 3 things. What else do they need to go and operate? I know that I'm sensing, let me not say I know that, as at the time that these politicians gave all of these things to these thugs, they did not know that they would go and steal. They did not know. But the mere fact that you weaponized them because you wanted to win elections, what do you think would happen after the elections? What do you think? You thought you are going to use them and dump them? And do you think that the vehicles you bought them, they would use it for good things? How are you able to make sure, monitor that the vehicle and all of the money you gave them during campaign and election period are being used only for good things? You went as far as giving them guns. Guns. Just because you wanted to win election, you weaponized thugs. Whereas you have your own children schooling abroad, you have your own children doing good jobs. Now you've weaponized them, and 33 families have lost their loved ones. So they ought to be made to pay for this. They have to pay for it. There is no other option. Before we go, my people, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. Let's take the first comment from Ajayi. It says, most people like bringing people down. Who is bringing people down here? We are talking about reality. This is a case in court, so it's not as if it's fabricated or it's not true. Adesonya Ajao says, this is a very good case, only that the judiciary cannot be trusted to do justice. Exactly, my brother. Those who give out arms to criminals should have a share in the blame, of course. 33 people were wickedly gunned down in one day using guns from wicked politicians. That shouldn't be swept under the carpet, of course. Olawale Odukoya says, unrepentant tax masters, later they will issue tax notice and laws for grave sites and cemeteries. Shameless yeye politicians. Adekoya Kayode says, this is what Farotimi is fighting against. Why were Saraki and Abdulfatai not tried along the 5 convicted for robbery? Exactly what I said. This is the same thing Farotimi was talking about in his book. This is the same thing he has been arrested for. And is this not true? Of course it is true. This is preferential treatment because they are politicians, they are high-ranking individuals. If this were to be normal Nigerians, normal everyday Nigerians like you and me, the person will be in prison by now. But because this is a politician we are talking about, high and mighty, the untouchable, Femi Falana has said everything, that Nigeria is a class society. We have the rich and we have the poor. The way they handle the poor is different from the way they handle the rich. If they were to invite the rich for a police interview or an interrogation, they will send a letter. But if you were to beat a poor man, they will go and boggle or kidnap that person from his or her house. You all, let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.